All right, I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Smokin.
Okay, boys, it's Lions Man Cave Chat here on Friday night. And once again, we are always sponsored by FTP. And no, I don't mean the organization that runs Florists. I mean, fuck the Packers.
Fuck them Packers.
Yep.
Thank you, Giants, for giving us another game that they lost. That was fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Currently, I'm at 178 subscribers, so please go over to YouTube, subscribe, like, and share this with every Lions page you can. I've got Big Dan Davis, one of the best Lions fans I know, and DC out of the Baltimore area checking in with me tonight. Jameson Williams is making his return playing against the Cowboys. Will it help the offense? Dan, what do you think?
I think it will. His speed and explosiveness will definitely add another added dimension that we need. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does out there.
DC?
Damn Skippy, it will. That's someone who can, like Dan said, open up the offense. It's someone that no one's seen yet. They don't have much tape on him, don't know how he will work. Can cause some matchup problems, particularly if we get Chark back. If we get him and Chark back and they're both running, look out.
Yep, I agree.
Chark and Swift will be rolling.
And our big buddy Vic Lester from down in NOLA, he will be at the Cowboys game. Congratulations.
Sweet.
That cost you a pretty penny. That's one of the most expensive stadiums in the NFL.
It's worth it. That stadium's awesome.
Next on the ballot, we have Jerry Jacobs and Josh Paschal are trending towards playing against the Cowboys. Will it be enough to help this anemic defense? DC?
Well, it depends if they change the damn scheme at all. But ultimately, yeah, the more people we get in, particularly if Comiskey gets back, if Armani pulls his head out of his ass and Smith is up and going, the more depth, the more players we can have out there, the better. It's got to get in, and the scheme has to be changed up.
He says, yes, I will be in Dallas with my bright blue Hutch jersey. That's awesome.
Yeah, those two guys coming back will help. Not quite sure yet if it'll be enough, but it'll definitely be some much added help to our defense if they can pan out and get back to form.
Eric Dalton comes in and says, hey, guys, what's up, brother?
Howdy.
And Justin Gonzalez was just about to ask that. Very good news to hear. Expectations shouldn't be too high, but look forward to reps. I'm sure they'll be limited. No, they kept him out an extra 4 weeks. His personal doctor cleared him as of week 1. That's why you've seen all these videos every week of him running, cutting, doing all this stuff in these workouts. They just kept him out and brought him in slow because we really didn't need him the first 4 games, and it was proof we did need him against New England.
Yep.
Is J-Mo going to be wide receiver 1, 2, 3? Which spot does he get put in?
Who knows at this point? I'm not going to speculate on that because we've seen him make stupid roster decisions before.
Yeah,
It's going to be how it's really going to depend how he does. He could end up the fourth quarter as being wide receiver 1 after starting wide receiver 5. Who knows? As long as he gets targets and gets open, that's the important thing.
I don't think he'll be doing any punt or kick returns.
I hope not.
Damn, I hope not.
That being said, our next topic, this was by Dan Davis, so you can go into the details. I'm just going to put up the general, and you go ahead and ask your question, Dan.
Leading into the New England game, the coaching staff, they talked about all these changes, moving Hutch around the D, changing the scheme up possibly and playing more conservative. Why didn't we see any of these changes?
Absolutely. DC, what do you think of that?
One, I think the changes that they put in weren't noticeable and effective other than taking Armani out. Two, there's a chance that Belichick and that offense just stopped everything they'd wanted to change before it happened, and we didn't see it. But still, there weren't any stunts. The blitzing was cliche, and I don't know. Maybe they were waiting for this bye week to start implementing more things. Is the only logical thing I could think of, instead of changing everything on 4 or 5 days, however long they had.
I mean, I was expecting him to live up to the at least more conservative part because, the going for it on fourth down, like I don't mind it in certain spots, but he's got to know when to be aggressive. Like he does it too much, dating back to last year. Like he's done it so often that teams know it's coming. They got tape on him, and he's just not surprising anyone anymore.
And exactly, but I mean, the other point in that is that he trusts the offense more than he trusts a kicker that's been there for 2 days and a defense that's been historically terrible. So if you have that and you have some percentages working in your favor, do you sit there and be like, all right, we're going to let our defense do this when they can't, they're not even an effective tampon to stop any bleeding. Well, there are certain numbers that I could see why, if we were all set up, I'd agree with you, but I can understand why he didn't.
Yeah, I understand why he didn't to an extent. That being said, the conservative play calling, we needed it. Because then you could have ate up more clock instead of doing what they did.
And you got to play field position too, because like that play when we weren't even over midfield, when he went for it on 4th and 1, it got stuffed, and it gave that third string.
Well, I was trying to give my answer, Dan.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, let's not talk over each other because that's kind of unprofessional. I'm trying to keep it professional.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Reason why we didn't move anybody on defense, look at the injuries that came up right at the end. You really couldn't move people around on defense, for one thing. AO was a healthy scratch. He actually wasn't hurt. He was a healthy scratch. He played all week. He can't get out of his own head. Maybe it was just a chance for him to clear his head for 2 weeks instead of just one, is what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Sevion Smith, thank God it's nothing super major. Is he going to be able to play again? No, probably not. Not right now, because that was a bad neck stinger is what he got, which put him into concussion protocol, which is covered under not only concussions, but also nerve injuries. That being said, this is the second year of a rebuild. We've seen it. We know it's a second year. The fans' expectations because of Hard Knocks and the media's was way too high for this team.
Yep.
I think 7 is like the high end of our games.
I just think if we want to get 7, we got to try to figure out a way to get our defense back to at least decent.
I understand that, but they're not going to get this defense to decent. They did exactly the same type of signings as last year, and I said this defense is our Achilles heel. Unless the offense is scoring 40-plus points every game, we're not going to win a lot.
Nope, we got to get healthy before we start thinking anything of that. That's another thing we said all off season is if all off season, every one of us said if this team stays healthy, the damn sky's the limit. And what happens? The exact opposite, which we said if the exact opposite did happen, we'd be fucked. Looks what's happening.
You can't get production if you're not on the field.
Yep.
And nobody is considered a bust till after year 3.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what position it is. Unless you're like Josh Rosen and had a new GM come in and just says, I'm done with you.
Yep.
I see him easing in the mix off the. His doctor cleared him week 1 to be fit enough to play. His own personal doctor that overseed the surgery.
Yep, and he gets to our doctors, and it's keep them out. I'm starting to think that's a mantra with our team's doctors.
No, it's not the doctors. Well, the doctors have nothing to do with keeping the people on the field. The problem is
recommendation for it.
No, you're not even going to let me finish. I know what the problem is. Mm-hmm. It's the way they run this off season. It's the way they run the off season. They took away two-a-days. They took away the bull in the ring. They took away actual tackling. They're wearing those goddamn Death Star bubble helmets on top of helmets to prevent concussions. Everybody says they're awkward and everything else. And it looks like it.
Exactly.
They're coddling the players, which is making them soft. Most of the injuries we've had, very few have been major injuries. They have been awful. The preseason now is basically the 3 preseason games, which is just trying to cut your roster down. There is no real dress rehearsal.
Exactly.
So therefore, your dress rehearsal are weeks 1 through 4.
Yep. And certainly major factor in it.
Spaceball helmets, major asshole.
Yep.
The only medical staff that didn't clear him was NFL medical staffs, which is actually the Detroit Lions medical staff. Yep. His personal doctor cleared him to play, said he would be clear to play by the 1st of September.
Yep. And those are the guys I'm questioning. But in this case, in Williams' case, I could see yes, but I don't know how many players are kept out longer.
Oh, there's been a lot of players that were kept out longer. Trust me.
Yeah.
Happy bye week, he says. That being said, we got to really stymie it back. And everybody says, oh, but look at the Bengals and what they did. They were a 3-year rebuild. They weren't a 1-year rebuild and then all of a sudden they were great. You have to remember, they got who they got just the year before they got Burrow. Then there was the year they got Burrow, and then they got Chase and everybody else, and then all of a sudden they were able to do shit. Correct?
Yep.
Do you know what the Bengals are missing? And they've been missing them. No, their offensive line is coming together. Yeah, that's not. They weren't communicating. That was the problem. They weren't gelling. The main thing with the Bengals that they're missing is the guy they let go to Tampa 2 years ago, Giovanni Bernard.
Oh yeah.
And Hatter's House 7-10 Lions are home underdogs versus the bye week. Yeah, we are 14.5 underdogs. I already said that. It's not that they're terrified of lawsuits. They're terrified of players being lost for the season before they get to start. We've seen it so many times where somebody comes back too soon and then they're never effective again in their career.
Yep.
Hatter's House goes LOL. Yeah, bye week's coached by Father Time, and that team's a mofo. And the only other thing I got to say, and then we'll let the commenters come up with some stuff, is happy birthday, Jared Goff. I hope he enjoyed it. I hope he's having fun with the swimsuit model tonight.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Sweetest Day tomorrow. Don't forget, take care of your women that or your significant others if you have them, because we don't think it's an important holiday. They do. Even though it's a Hallmark holiday that was made for kids in high school.
Right.
Which one? Jared Goff's birthday?
No, Sweetest Day.
I don't even know what that is. When did that come out?
And thank you. Yes, last Sunday was my birthday. I turned the big whopping 52. And the minute you turn 52, the minute you're born, that is the start of the next revolution around the sun. For those that aren't math majors, sis, if you're listening. So the moment I turned 52, even though I don't remember anything prior to year 5 of my life, there is also that first year you're born is your first revolution around the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So once you turn 1, that's your second year revolution around the sun. And so on and so forth. Just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Exactly.
It's bigger now than it ever was in the 70s at Eric Dalton.
I mean, hell, I want to celebrate Sinatra's and Johnny Cash's birthday every year, and my ex thought I was nuts. But oh well.
Hey, I like it.
Can't wait till that jacket gets here that I ordered, that Axel Foley jacket.
Yeah, that's going to be badass.
I almost ordered one of those when I was drunk one night, and I sent it to my friends, and they like laughed and be like, "If you got that, you would be the biggest tool." And I was like, all right, but I've done stupid shit before.
People can call me that all they want if I get that. I don't care. I've always wanted that jacket. I love the movie. So
Hatter's House 70 says, later, fellas, got to get back to work. Have a good weekend. You too. Well, as you know, there'll be no stream this weekend. And next weekend, I'm not going to be doing a commentary stream either, because I think it's a much better idea for me to go to Soaring Eagle and meet Herman Moore.
Sounds good.
He's going to be at the sports bar there, whatever they call it, Aurora, I think it is. And he's going to be doing his Lions Nation Unite podcast from there.
Tell him I said go Cavs. But the only time he hears that day, that's for damn sure. Hell, he doesn't get that in Virginia.
Thank you, Hatter's House. Word is, I heard he's playing next week. And Eric Dalton says, I don't blame you.
So you got a pass, don't you? Or a comp or whatever?
Oh
Or
yeah,
did you use it already?
I got some of that. I get comp every week.
Yeah, but did you use that? Did you use those $50 or whatever you got
Oh
already?
yeah, I use that.
Okay.
Let me put it up so Steve Bauer can see it. So, what are your final thoughts, Dad?
Change the scheme, get the defense back to decent, even though who knows if it happens.
See, the bad part is they already worked hard at learning this other scheme. How much of the other scheme did they forget?
Good point.
You're, switching a scheme mid-season.
I know. I'm just
we're just frustrated. No,
I know.
we're frustrated.
Exactly.
We're frustrated. And I get it. This is the second year of a rebuild. And they're playing like it. They're playing like it. The offense we knew was ahead of schedule, and they proved it.
Yeah, you're right.
I used to have a pass and a second kidney. And Steve Bauer says that's awesome. DC, what are your final thoughts for this week?
Biggest thing is get healthy. I think that, and I've basically now dismissed that whole injuries aren't an excuse cliche. I think right now injuries are a prime factor of why everything is happening the way they are. If this team was fully healthy, we would have a completely different team. The talent is there, just they aren't on the field at the same time, or they aren't on the field and they can't do what they want to do with the game plan.
The talent is there with the starters.
Yep.
And that's it.
I mean, even with the depth, I mean, they could be good depth players and maybe not be good thrown into the fire because, everyone gets hurt. Then
right.
They have to play out of position. And it's just a ripple effect that keeps going and keeps going. It's not one player that you can be like, oh, okay, we just need one backup coming in. No, it's all over the damn place. So it's the ripple effect for that is what's causing a 1-4 season.
How awesome would it be if this team just goes into Dallas, they come out all pissed off, and they just straight up house Dallas right in Jerry's world? That'd be sweet. I hope that happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I'm not going to expect it. You know what my expectations is?
What's that?
For them to be competitive. I don't want to see another embarrassing loss like last week. So far, I have not been embarrassed by this team at all offensively until last week. But when I looked at the stats, we weren't that embarrassing.
Well, until the tape was close, they just took away what we wanted to do.
I mean, that's Belichick. Belichick does that to everybody, right?
No, what I'm saying is we were scoring even with a bad kicker. We signed a kicker that wasn't bad. Why didn't we use him?
Well, because he'd been there for 2 days.
That I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse to go full on retard.
The decision not to use him is on coaching.
Yep.
Why didn't they on the 4th and 9 and 4th and 19? Why didn't they use fucking Jack Fox? You could have taken a delay of game, moved back 5 yards to make it a better punting situation, and let them pin him deep.
Yeah, I agree, but on the other end, they had the number one offense, so percentages are in their favor. I mean,
no, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Well, whatever he saw, he didn't make that. He had a reason.
They knew every 4th down they weren't going to do anything but go for it, and they stacked the box against it.
Yep.
It's like I said, Dan Campbell ain't catching nobody by surprise by constantly doing that all the time.
Right. It was fine the first few weeks. Did you notice how the percentage got less and less every week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now
right.
he's 7 of 18. He was at 7 of 12.
Yeah, it's
Eric Dalton, that wasn't even the worst one. I can't believe you're bringing up 4th and 9. There was a 4th and 19.
yeah. His decision making needs to be better. That's for sure.
Yep, I'm very
I'd
sorry.
have been happier if Goff would have said, "Fuck this, we're taking a delay a game."
How did you guys feel in that press conference where Dan Campbell said, "I didn't regret any of the decisions I made"?
Good. I mean,
no, he can't regret the decisions he made. He made them.
Yeah.
If you show regret, that means you're showing uncertainty. If you show uncertainty, you lose the locker room.
Good point.
And those post game conferences, any of them are trying to do is get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
They really don't give two shits what they're saying, and they basically have their script memorized from. That's why they all sound the same every post game interview. Having them is about pointless.
Well, the only one that doesn't sound the same every one, Dan Campbell doesn't sound the same every loss.
It's paraphrased, but it's the same cliche again and again.
No, he doesn't do cliches. That's what I love about him. He doesn't do cliches.
He puts it on himself. He calls maybe one or two plays that could happen, one or two players out here and there. He says the other team played a good game and we got to get better.
He's honest and he owns his mistakes, So.
And yeah, I still feel live by the sword and die by it. We need to keep that mentality and hardness. Yeah, you brought up 4th and 9 because it was 6-0. You realize the 4th and 19, it was 9-0.
Oh.
They kicked 5 field goals. We didn't kick a fucking one of them.
Comes to trusting.
There was 4. There was 2 that they could have lined up fucking Hutch to kick it and he'd have got it because they were in the red zone.
Yep.
And Eric Dalton brings up a great point. Paschal would just say pad level. It's more than pad level.
Yep. These coaches don't like being in there.
I wonder if he says pad level when he's coaching the Patriots offense.
Who knows what the fuck he talks about.
Man, did you hear Rivera go off today? That was awesome. He ripped a few reporters' heads off. That's about the only time it's good.
Yep. That first 4th down was a stupid play call. Everybody and their nephew knew Williams was getting the handoff. Call a play action for Christ's sakes. The 4th and 19 one, the reason why it burns my ass is they called a draw play with Craig Reynolds, who trips before he's ever near somebody.
Yep.
That's just that's just a dumb luck thing. Trip. I don't know. It sucks.
I mean, if you're gonna go for it on 4th and 19, might as well fake it.
Oh, I don't care what you say. He's saying shit now. He got his revenge on the Lions.
And I think that's what makes that loss to New England worse. We lost to the pencil, our former coach.
I know it makes it worse. Shit. Everybody and their brother that I talked to expected the Lions to win.
I thought we'd win. I picked us to win. Boy, was I wrong, but yeah.
I thought we would too, but I was worried about that game since they announced the schedule.
I know. I'm back to doing what I did last year. Until they start winning, I'm picking the other team.
I'm with you, right? 100%. I'm picking against us when we go against Dallas, to be honest. But
Well, Dallas does have a defense. And
I know
say what you want. People can bag on Trayvon Diggs and say what they want.
Trayvon Diggs is 50-50. He's either going to
No, he's not this year. No, he's not this year. He's not doing the just going for interceptions. He's got 5 breakups already. He's actually doing good coverage. The QBR against him right now is 72.2.
All right, so that's good for him then. He's actually doing better then.
Yes, the last time we won in New England was at the old stadium. It wasn't at Foxborough. It was in 1993.
Yep. Which is all of what, 4 games? Not like we play there every year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 games total since then that we played there.
Yeah, 5 games, yeah.
Ugh.
Yes, it was a frustrating loss. Yes, it was embarrassing. Yes, we looked as inept as we thought.
It was really the first bad game by the offense and the O-line. I mean, good teams, good offenses have bad games from time to time, It happens. Sucks, but it happened.
Steve Bauer
was gone and they out-blitzed us and out-schemed us.
Yeah, they did. We were out-coached by one of the best coaches in the game.
Yep.
And we were worried about that. We all talked about it in that show before. But it got to a point where I couldn't even watch it because I didn't want the comments coming in. I stopped the stream. For the first time ever, I stopped the stream. I wonder if AO will be active next game. Eric Dalton says, Matthew Stafford, when asked about the Dallas defense, he answers, I like eggs. I love eggs. Mama, can you make me pancakes?
Yeah, AO should be in, provided he got his head on straight.
That being said, I'm going to give my final thoughts the way I always do. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to improve the world and make it a better place. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. I want to say thank you to my sponsors, A1 Tire Auto Repair, 3 locations to serve you, on Cawcolin and Old Cawcolin Road, Bay City on Broadway, and in Saginaw, where I work, on Genesee Street. Come on in and check us out. And Mad Lab Custom Creations. Go to his Facebook page, join it, check it out. He does these awesome breaks. He's doing one for Christmas. There's like a different one, and if you win it, you're getting a mystery box that you get to open when it's sent to you. You won't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is. It's just a box. But it's going to have a mini helmet, and it's going to be signed by somebody. It could be, there's a Rodrigo salute to service in there. There's an Aiden Hutchinson. There's a Barry Sanders. There's some nice and other headliners from other teams. I personally want to get a signed helmet from every team in the league. That way I can start using them as props when we do our game shows.
Makes sense.
But yeah, the new Lions hat I got, it's a salute to service hat. So thank you to all the men and women that serve our country out there. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm hoping, and Stephen King says it back. Eric Dalton says, love you, brother. And Stephen King says, hopefully we at least give the Cowboys a good scare in Arlington. I don't think you'll see another offensive output as bad as last week.
No.
And Eric Dalton goes, ooh, I want a Navy helmet.
Not if everyone is back, you won't.
Well, this has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. I'm going to be paying close attention to the injury report starting in the week. There won't be a Sunday game, so there's no Sunday show. There's also no post-game show. So the next time you guys will see me will be Wednesday night with the NFL Roundtable Talks. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. Have a great evening. Enjoy your weekend. Take your lady friends out and do something tomorrow. Doesn't matter what it is. Just make them happy. Us guys don't get it, but Sweetest Day is still celebrated. They appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody.
Hell yeah.